Welcome. I am the Roguescaper here with yet another wonderful content creator in the Scape community. I'm here joined by the ineffable Joe Crazy.
Oh, thanks.
Well, welcome to my side of the internet. Where I try to teach people how to paint pre-painted miniatures. So that's my corner of the internet.
It's fun to be here. I can't wait to paint. But yet I haven't started yet, and I don't know why.
It's the hardest
part of me is, well, that's with anything, right? Like, you just gotta, put yourself into it. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't. I don't know. Maybe it's because I live in an apartment and I don't want to take out a bunch of minis into the public parking lot.
And do a lot of painting until I bought a house, because I had most of it in my dining room table, and my wife wasn't having it. So.
Yeah.
Well, tell me about your channel, and you've been doing this for a bit of time, both Heroscape stuff, but also I've noticed you've done a lot of other stuff as well. So kind of just give a brief summary of your channel and kind of what's going on there.
Yeah, 2007. That was the year. Transformers, Michael Bay came out, and that was a pinnacle year for me. To do a lot of things. To be in high school, to be making short films in school, like that was I think that helped me so much. I had a lot of awesome teachers that gave me the opportunity to show off my film skills. I started doing Halo 3 Machinima. Are you familiar with Machinima, Josiah?
Vaguely. I remember it was around a while. I remember I used to watch it.
It was like pretty, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm pretty sure everyone that watches Heroscape content, to be honest, is like 30 and above, and they should know this. But if by chance you are baby and you don't know what Machinima is, Red vs. Blue, go check it out. Obviously TOV, our buddy Ryan, takes inspiration from Red vs. Blue, and obviously I did as well, and I wanted to make Machinima too, and it's pretty much just recording gameplay. But like they had a theater mode in Halo 3, and I don't know how they did it in Halo. I think in Halo 1 they just had somebody. I think it was they held the gun up, and then or down. No, yeah, it was down enough, and then for some reason their head would just pop up like this. And so on the controller, it was just I'm pushing the controller down, but like in the game, their gun would go down so far, and then their head would just pop up, and so they would move up on the directional pad or the analog stick and just like bob their head, and it would look like they were talking. And then they put audio to it and made a whole buttload show. It's like 10, 12, 14, 15 seasons now. Not exactly like that. They've added CGI and did a bunch of other special effects, but I wanted to do something like that. And so they had, in Halo 3, they had theater mode, and I did like some shorts still on the channel, like, real fun stuff. Yeah, I remember coming home from school and hopping on with my cousin and his friends, and just playing Troll on the Bridge or Halo on Halo, playing some Team Deathmatch, Slayer. So I did that, and then I started into doing some live action stuff. I remember doing like a combination video where I talked about working for my dad. I did like a commercial for my dad's garage.
Hi, I'm Joe Nicastro, and welcome to Nicastro's Garage. I am one of 3 Joe Nicastros in my family that have been working here.
He had his own mechanic shop, and I worked there during the summers, and eventually I wound up working there for a couple years out of college. But I remember doing that. I did an Easter Bunny skit in Machinima.
Hey, what you looking at?
I thought I saw the Easter Bunny.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. First of all, why would there be an Easter Bunny in a box canyon? And second of all, why do you believe in the Easter Bunny?
I did a video for Panasonic. It was a drug PSA. It made top 10 out of 43 schools. And that was a lot of fun. I got to film with one of my best friends. That was so much fun. Oh my God, Jorgen is so funny. Doesn't look it in the skit, but he was such a pain in the butt to work with, but it was so much fun to do that. But yeah, went to a film school and learned more about film. And then eventually I got into Heroscape content by just like, my buddy and I we were working at the same job. We were cleaning for our both his mom, my mom. They worked at the same place. It was a warehouse. We would clean, do janitorial work, and we would talk, all the time. It would be very distracting to get anything done. We never got anything done. It would take us like 10 hours just to do simple cleaning. And we were just talking about like, hey, we were playing Risk Legacy at the time, wrapping that up, and that was tough. So, for example, Pandemic has one, Risk has one, and they're just legacy, meaning that it's almost like a D&D campaign. It's essentially you play with a bunch of people, and every time you play a game of Risk, it evolves and changes. And for example, like every time you won a game, you received a nuke token. And so our buddy that always spawned in Australia would always win and had a stockpile of nukes that he could just use whenever, and would always threaten us with, oh, you're going to get nuked, you're going to get nuked, you're going to get nuked, over and over and over again. And friendships were like very just, broken apart a little bit. So we were looking for something new to play, and I remember bringing it up to him and saying, hey, why don't we play Heroscape? Do you remember that? And he's like, yeah, we should play. And we had this infamous first game ever where him and his girlfriend came over. We invited my, now future fiance, and not at the time yet. And we played this 4-player free-for-all match where I built this pretty much flat map, but we had a giant castle in like one side of the map. I remember having some trees on one corner and a lava section in the other corner. And his now wife played Silver Surfer and would fly down, attack, and fly back up to the top of the castle. I tried to make a Monopoly alliance with Jill, my fiance, not then, but now. And, I was like, oh, we should team up on these guys. And then eventually I attacked her and, like, killed her off. Had a game. It was a very Game of Thrones.
He's still marrying you. Still trying to marry you after that. Wow.
See, that's why I did that first. So she would forget about it. And now me saying it out loud, she'll hear me, and now we're going to have a fight later. Who knows? I don't know.
The marriage is off. You killed my Silver Surfer.
Maybe this is why I can never beat her now.
No.
I for some reason, I could just never beat Jill in a Heroscape match. Maybe my subconscious is going easy on her, or not, or I'm just bad. I don't know.
Residual guilt. This has carried over all these years.
It absolutely has. But we played that infamous game, and we just like, yeah, we got to play this more often. This is so much fun. This was great. But yeah, and then getting into filming games, it was just pretty much like, hey, let's go. This was so much fun. Let's go check out what the Heroscape community's been doing this entire time. And realizing there's only been like not even a handful of people making content on it. It was just Sir Heroscape. It was 10 Points Under, and of course Ryan TOV being him and doing his stuff. So I was like, okay, well, no one was really doing what I wanted to do with the content, and I was like, all right, well, it was like the Infinity God with my talent of things I wanted to do, I'll do it myself, kind of thing. So I was like, all right, let's film Heroscape games the way I think the game should look like.
I love seeing people's origin stories, because especially when someone's like, you know what, I have this set of skills that I kind of bring to the table. Let me like just bring that in. It's always so unique, and it's always just so interesting. That's one of the main reasons I'm kind of doing this series, is just like everyone kind of has their own background. You have a background in film. I have a background in film as well. But some people just like, I love this game and I know more about it than anyone else, or Ryan, I'd stop motion, and it's always it's just fun seeing people's influences and stuff like that, kind of how it affects their content. What would you say is one of your big influences in film or media? Kind of what inspires you, or you inspire to be?
I always wanted to be a director. I don't have any directors I looked at and was like, I want to be like that guy. It was like right now, it's like honestly, it's like YouTubers. I look at Markiplier. I look at Matt Pat from Game Theory, which sadly this year he is going to work on other projects other than his own channels, his 4 channels that he manages. I just wanted to be like them, make content that I loved, showed my hopefully my personality came through my editing, through the way I talked about the topics I like. Obviously Heroscape wasn't the first thing I made. I wanted to do more video game stuff. But then once I saw that there wasn't many people doing Heroscape and there really wasn't, so-called competition, there wasn't, or I should say there was a gap. There was stuff that needed to be filled in. So I was like, all right, well, let's go do that. So I felt like, because if you go into anything else, you look anything else, it's weird. Heroscape there should have been tons of content, and there were, it wasn't like fantastic stuff, but there was content there, but people weren't consistent with it. There wasn't, I guess, the dedication of it just kind of dropped off when Heroscape, I guess in the masses dropped down.
I mean, it is kind of weird. They're like, oh, yeah, I'm excited for the game coming back out. So I'd be like, yeah, I run a channel based on a game that's not been dead for over a decade.
Yeah.
Dead in the sense not officially produced. It's still been thriving and going on. But but it's also nice that you can kind of establish your little corner or what you're really good at. What would you say is like in terms of Heroscape content is kind of what's your bread and butter there?
I think I'm still trying to figure that one out because I want to not slow down. I don't feel like I know people who want like, oh, give us more Utz Cup, give us the next cup, tournament. They want to see everyone playing again because Schweppes Cup and Utz Cup did really well. They didn't overwhelmingly did the best. I think I just recently found, one of the best videos I've ever done was my Vanguard video, where I talked about AOA, and you can essentially own it today, as long as of the terrain, and also technically as the figures. But that's that's part 2 of that actually, that I eventually would have to make. But that one got easily within a couple months 1,000 views, where Schweppes Cup and Utz Cup, none of the videos are at 1,000 yet. So I know people want more battle videos, and I like doing duel. And I'm coming from the YouTube corner where I'm like, everything has to be a show, right? And it isn't just, another video with a topic. It's like everything's got to have its own show and theme. And, even like I put out a video yesterday, which I guess in this regards would be a week's or whatever, where I talk about the acronyms. There's Heroscapers, you guys love your acronyms. There's just acronyms all over the place. Throw them all over. And I only covered like 11. And one of them's a name. Somebody's Heroscaper name. We all know Mike Schrober, Orc Elf Army 1, right? That's an acronym, so I threw it in there. I covered all of the acronyms, and so like the theming around that is like very traditional. Like we're talking about a topic. Let's do educational thing. And then the thumbnail is like it's like purple. And the reason like I use the color purple was like, okay, the last time I did an educational video within last year was I was talking about what is delta points, and that I just chose purple as its color. So now anything that I'm going to do educational wise or like what is this, it's going to be purple. Everything's going to be themed. So then when you're searching through, YouTube, everything's color coded of like, what's a duel video? What's a educational video? What's a Schweppes Cup video? What's a, video game video? Like it's all color coded. So it's easy for you to understand, you associate your brain. And those are little things that you learn when you do YouTube.
That's fascinating. You really do spend a lot of time, I think, on your videos and you just I think in terms of production quality, I'd say you're probably an inspiration to a lot of Scape content creators. You definitely were a inspiration for me. I saw that. I was like, I want to make stuff like Joe Crazy makes. It's very, very. You can definitely see that film background of flexing through. And do you have any? What would you say? Do you have any big, ambitious projects? Like, What's the next step? Do you have any big ambitions? We have AOA coming out. Kind of what's the something you're working on now?
I mean, I mostly are trying to go back to the weekly content. I want to push out because I'm trying to fit the role of YouTuber, and with my studies of YouTube and watching content, you got to push that stuff out as fast as you can. And I'm not gonna just do shorts all day because that is a lot more time. I'm putting more time into making shorter content, and yes, that's advertising for my bigger content, or I should say the medium-sized content, because the bigger content would be doing another Utz Cup, another Schweppes Cup, and obviously I'm not going to call it that. Anyone's like, oh, let's go Utz Cup 2. No, it'll be something different. It'll be a different brand that we're not being monetized by. It would be cool if we had one, but I feel like we got to do one more. We have a trilogy of big tournament within our friend group before I could be like, hey, why don't we do the Heroscape Cup? The TOV. Well, actually I was almost thinking too, after we do the trilogy of cups, we'll change it to bowls. So then again, to me it would be funnier just to do the Utz bowl, because then we put the Utz pretzels in a bowl. Anything that you like, it's like the Campbell bowl, so it's like soup bowl,
It's multi-level right there.
I'm very punny, very punny. I made an entire short film on puns. But yeah, ambitious projects would be doing another tournament thing. That to me is ambitious because it's like depending on how many battles we have, I would plan it out to make sure that it's only like 10 or 12 episodes, and that's including like an introduction to like what the tournament is, a behind the scenes, like whatever I did with Utz Cup, which I think is practically almost perfect. There are a lot of minor mistakes I made, but overall, if I look at that playlist, I'm very proud of it. The way the thumbnails came out, how each of the videos pretty much came out, except for, let's say, minor changes, minor things that editing-wise, I was like, that was just not even my fault. I just messed up that way. But otherwise, that was a perfect series. Doing a 3-camera setup. I eventually got lights, to light up the board and light up my subjects. I think the only issue I ever have, or one thing I would like to do, is just find someone to help me film it. When you're running your own channel, and I thank my friends a lot to help and support me making the content I do, but I'm the only one that knows how to work it all. What happens then? Who's gonna help? Who's gonna hold the camera? So it's not their fault, okay, guys? It's not their fault when I'm on camera and the video quality of doing all of this, they don't know where to look. I try to direct them as much as I can, and I'm sure maybe some of you guys may not notice it or not. I do, because obviously when you're editing, you're gonna find all the mistakes, right, Josiah? We're watching it nonstop, and I mean, even my last video, the acronyms video, I had to reshoot it because I didn't script it out. I was like, all right, cool. I have like a list of acronyms. I have them listed. I have a little short synopsis of what each one is. Let me just free talk it. No, I can't do that. What was the one thing I told myself at the end of 2023 that I would stop doing? And I feel like scripting it out would be so much better, just so I can make shorter videos. I don't want to make longer ones. Now, obviously, longer videos are doing phenomenal right now in this space on YouTube. And sure, I could do what a lot of us Heroscapers are doing, or let me live stream, or let me just record my hour and a half battle video and do very, very minor editing. Now, what Battlescape is doing is really interesting. I really like. You've seen these?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Okay.
I have a pretty good thumb on most of the Scape creators. Every time a new one pops up, I'm like, I'm gonna check them out. Battlescape is definitely they got great content. I'm gonna try to have them on here as well.
Because obviously what was interesting is that they're putting a lot of editing in their videos, and it's almost where instead of doing, like, for me, like, I feel like I need to show you the whole battle, but I've sculpted it in a way, at least with the duel videos, when I go out to Massachusetts and Maryland and go film games, the tournament games, like those type of formats, like, they don't last long. Like, they give you an hour to play, but at least with majority of the play, it's not a whole hour. Like, I think the next one I'm going to be doing, I have a calendar now, so I put up deadlines, so I know which ones need to be done in a certain week. The weekend of February 9th should be my next Salisbury video, which when I went there, that one, I don't know, spoiler alert or not, but it was very short. I think it will be my shortest battle video to date. And obviously it wasn't me playing, but we had two Scapers play against each other, and man, it was a bloodbath. Oh, I felt so bad for him. Oh, it was terrible. Orc Battle Rush, that's all I'll say. Orc Battle Rush, I will say that. Or at least I think that's what it was. I don't remember. Did you know there are like over 200 or more Heroscape cards?
Yes.
There's a lot to remember. If I mess up, if anyone messes up, don't go in the comments and be like, "Oh, you meant this and didn't." I'm a tangent master, by the way. Did you know that?
Yeah, no, I'm loving it.
Have you talked this inside?
Less I have to talk, the better, I think, is the what I'm going for here. So
now we know why I have a YouTube channel. I like to talk.
See, that's honestly one of the things I study with you on a lot, is you're just such a great speaker. I'm a really kind of naturally kind of shy and reclusive guy, and you're just so natural on camera, so I really admire that. I think that's
thank you.
That's something that I'm definitely jealous of.
I mean, a lot of people don't throw themselves in front of the camera right away.
No.
A lot of YouTubers I used to watch didn't, and it was a huge push for those people to be like, "Oh, do a face reveal, do a face reveal." And I hated that. I'm like, don't push people to do that. That's their business. I don't even know why I wanted to. And mostly probably because I eventually wanted to be in a movie and like do something big like that. So I was like, let me get my face out there. Putting my face out there and getting better at public speaking, which I did take a public speaking class in college. I think I had the best adjunct ever. And for those that don't know what an adjunct is, like I said, I don't know what the age groups of any of these are. And yet you look at analytics all day. Most of them you're adults. You guys are all adults. But is essentially a substitute teacher for college, and that person was fantastic because they let me talk about whatever. I did an entire class talking about brass puzzles. I love brass puzzles. I love puzzles. So I taught the entire class how to do like 2 or 3 brass puzzles. I passed it around. I demonstrated it. I did a whole speech about the game of Portal and the world of it. I came in with my mom's lab coat. Had a PowerPoint presentation. I talked about the long fall boots and how portals worked. And like somebody was like literally concerned that this was real. I was that convincing apparently. And I was like, no, this is a video game. I'm describing a video game. And then I continued my speech as if I was working for Aperture Science. I almost wish I had, like, at that time, like, a patch I could have put on that said Aperture Science on it. That would have been, like, thinking outside the box, like, that would have been amazing. Or thinking with portals, I should have had it on it. Would be dope. But yeah, I'd say to pick a Pokemon back. That helped me the most.
If someone's starting a YouTube channel, they're like, man, I love Scape. I love making videos. What's your advice of do's and don'ts?
Ooh, I like that question a lot. I would search things up, and look, you could do whatever you want. I feel like at this point, it is an open market to make whatever YouTube content you want for Heroscape. Even if you wanted to do another paint channel or a battle video channel, or there was one guy, I don't remember his name, I'm so sorry, that made a video about an anime he found that was like super like this. Well, this is just Heroscape. I don't know how this is an anime about Heroscape. And he just did like one video of that, and he talked about that. Like, that's cool. Like, honestly, find something within this community and just talk about it. But you don't have to make that. You're not a one-trick pony. You don't have to be a one-trick pony to do that. The reason that my YouTube channel isn't called something with Scape or Valhalla, or, it's not tied to Heroscape specifically. One, I didn't design my channel to be Heroscape solely. It was for Joe Crazy. It is me. So anything I like, I make content on. So even though if you want to make Heroscape content, don't feel pressure to be like, oh, in order to be relevant, I need to make, my name Heroscape related. No offense to you. You're fine. Stay beautiful, man. But like, it's just, I think that would be like a do. Like, do you. Don't worry about the pressures of everyone else. Don't worry about what everyone else is doing. Worry about what you want to do. So when it comes to like don'ts, I feel like it's the same thing, I guess. It's just like, don't conform to everyone else. Just do your own thing. Make it original. I wanted to do something different, and so I was like, all right, let me. I have the film experience. Let me get. I have GoPros. I got my phone. Let me set up tripods. Let me just show this game the way I wanted to. And so even though I was doing battle videos as my first videos, you can, it's fine. Do something different.
I have a question as well. I've kind of been asking everyone I've been talking to with this. Is if you were to, what's your dream unit that doesn't exist so far? Like, is it, I'm just like, if you were to pitch me a Heroscape unit that doesn't exist, you don't have to, it could be broad strokes, but what's missing from the game that you would like to see?
Because looking back, because this is obviously a whole other video I want to expand into one day, is you look at Heroscape, what it is, classic Scape, and you're like, you look at everything, it's like, oh, that's, oh my god, now I have to think of examples, and it's gonna be tough to think of examples. But it's like adjacent stuff. It's like, oh, like I want a RoboCop type of character, or I want, obviously they're doing this with the bugs now, but xenomorphs. I want xenomorphs. I think I want a Predator character, like anything from like the 80s. Let's get slashers into this too. Let's get a character that's kind of like. Oh my god, why can't I think of sweater, hat, claws, what is it? Freddy Krueger, yeah. Let's get a Freddy Krueger. Let's get, themed characters that are, they're like that. Because that's what a lot of Heroscape characters are, right? They're just like that. They're just like this. They're kind of like this. And I enjoy that a lot. But then again, also, like, the concept that we were saying from AOA is, like, pretty much exactly what I wanted. Like, the giant, I forgot what it was called, but the giant engine that was gonna grind everything. Like, oh, I want that so bad. That's so dope. Oh my god. Like, it's, because I think of it as this evolution into me being an innocent child playing with dinosaurs to becoming an adult, and all this stuff feels more adult. It feels like what I want now opposed to what I wanted then. What I wanted then was, I wanted a giant Deathwalker robot that would destroy everything. I wanted to play with orcs riding dinosaurs. I wanted to play with army men. Now I want to kill everything, and I just want everything total destruction. Or I wanted to be like a giant tree that has magic powers. Or I wanted to play as Rocket Raccoon as if it was a faction. So it's like, that would be awesome. You look at 40K, and you're like, oh, it's just everything. Everyone's robots. Everyone's just robots. Everything's tanks and everyone in power armor. But you look at Heroscape being like, oh, there's Romans and robots, and oh, there's what is this game? Why are we everyone versing each other? And I guess that's unique in itself. So I want to be able to hopefully see more inclusion of characters intertwining with other armies. You know, I think one of my favorite VC units that isn't Amaro, imagine that, is the Ranjit. Ranjit Singh, or just Ranjit? I don't remember. I think it's just Ranjit. And his power is to essentially, like, you have to have other Valkyrie generals in your army to get a bonus. And so I use the cowboys. I use a cowboy army. And it's like my favorite army to like run at a tournament because it's so, to me, unique. It's all unique heroes. And everyone gets a bonus. It's a bunch of ranged cowboys and this diplomat character. And it's like, this is wild. Like, this is wacky. And it's all these different... I want more Valkyrie generals combinations. So if I had to choose a unit, someone like Ranjit Singh, that it already to us exists. It already exists for us. So I don't know. Everything's pretty much covered, to be honest. We got giant robots. We got aliens. We got even more badass stuff coming as a figure-wise.
Ready to wrap this up. Joe Crazy, do you have any kind of final thoughts, hot takes, anything you want to get out in the world before we close up?
More than I have already put out there? Jeez. Jeez. It's funny. I feel like I was talking in my head this weekend thinking about this interview and thinking about what I wanted to say or talk about, you know, what kind of questions you would come up with. And you had some really good ones. I like the one about the what unit is missing. I like that one a lot, especially when it comes to Heroscape. And obviously to talk about my origin, it's like, for me, it's so much easier. Look how easy it was. What are we at? An hour and a half? Easy, right? Could I keep going? Of course I can. You know, I'm kind of an open book with that. So, like, you know, just if you're ever, don't be shy to come up and talk to me online or in person and talk about whatever. You know, you're not gonna bore me at all. Trust me. If you have questions, if you want to be part of the channel in any way, if you want to help out, if you want to just be part of the community, you know, in Heroscape community, because like at this point too, I was gonna say looking at my Discord tab now, I was like, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hero. I have 12 Heroscape related Discord channels. 12. Everybody's got a Discord channel now. It's great. You know, we got everybody from different groups that play the game, communities like Heroscapers and mine, Tales of Valhalla, or Heroscape's got one, New Generation Customs got one. We got the Massachusetts group, and I'm sure there's people on the West Coast that have Discord channels too, but I'm not going to be part of those because they're on the West Coast, and I'm not on the West Coast. We got the Avalon Hill group, which at some point I feel like I should probably delete, but I have it there as a memory. We got the Renegade one. We got Riley's Creations. Got Bert's. We got the C3G, even though I haven't played the C3G, but I feel like it's there. Because I have to feel like I have to support them. And there's also Arena of the Planeswalkers, which is also... like, honestly, here's one. If you're going to cover anything with, like, anyone, even Rogue or, you know, anyone, is going to cover, like, history of Heroscape, talk about Arena of the Planeswalkers. If you had to look at, like imagine... Because I'll never forget, I remember going on vacation to Wildwood. I'm on the East Coast, so I go down to the beaches all the time. And I go to some of these shops, and I saw a Marvel character. And obviously a lot of Marvel figures are being made by Hasbro. And I saw a Captain America action figure. And it comes, each of the action figures, there was multiples. There's Black Widows, Iron Man. They all come with like these bases to stand these characters on. The characters could stand on, and you can combine all of the bases and the characters and their poses, and you can link them together to make this giant pose and have all your action figures in this one big pose thing. And the bases, I kid you not, you can look this up, you can find it, were not the same size, but were the same shape and design as a Heroscape tile. and I lost my shit. In the store, people thought I was having a panic attack. I lost my shit. I was like, "You're joking. What is this? What does this mean? Is this a hint? Did I find an Easter egg? Is Heroscape coming back? Are they just using like old assets for like other things because they don't know what to do with this system anymore?" I should have just bought the figure just so I had it. I should have just bought it just to have it, just so I could say, "Here, this is the proof." Ever since that moment, this was before Arena of the Planeswalkers came out, and I had those hex tiles. Even before that, I saw that and was like, Heroscape's coming back, bro. Heroscape's coming back. Holy, ho. And then, of course, Arena of the Planeswalkers, and then we had that drop. That's just absolute mic drop of the trailer. Renegade needs to do that. That's what they need to do. They need to make me feel that again. That moment that I felt when I walked into that store, saw that base, the moment that I saw Arena of the Planewalkers, the moment I saw that trailer that Avalon Hill put out, my heart dropped and I cried. Each of those moments, I cried. Thinking and knowing that Heroscape could come back. And for granted, the Heroscapers, we all know, right? Broken record. We love Heroscape. It's never going away for us. This is the game that we're playing right now. But I think for our sake, we want more people to love it. And the feeling that we feel when we play this game and how we see this game and how we think about this game, we want more people to feel and see it the way we do. And if Renegade can help other people see it the way we do, would make me feel like the happiest person ever. But if they break that, they're breaking my heart. Because I know at that point, then it's just me, right? It's just our job, right? As content creators, right? It's not just up to them, it's also up to us to show you as a newcomer that feeling. But if the big companies can do that too, and that would give us so much more help. Because there's only so much I can say. There's only so much Josiah can say. There's only so much Sir Heroscape and Tales of Valhalla and 10 Points Under and anyone else that comes into this community and starts making content on it can only say that how much we love this game and we wanted to see other people see it the way we do. So I feel like I wrapped that up pretty good. Talking about public speaker. I'm pretty good at this stuff.
I'm moved. I think I like Heroscape now.
Did you move like a half an inch because for me, I've been moving back and forth this entire time. I'm moving all over the place. I'm shifting.